And David, we'll start with your league position. How's the view at the top?
Well, it's funny because after the game I could hear the fans obviously delighted with that position, but it's not really something that I've looked at and still haven't really considered. I've taken each game as it's come, and we certainly are delighted to be at the top, but the players themselves probably appreciate it more than I do, because we're just firmly focused on doing their job as well as possible.
We take the last 6 months though, there's been some very frustrating times in that last 6 months,
Yeah.
so to be there at the top of the table must be a nice feeling.
It's quite strange, and as I say, I'm not somebody that goes overboard on it, but I'm overwhelmed that people are giving us a lot of praise and credit, which is lovely. But certainly I feel that we're focused on our jobs and our responsibilities, and working as focused on every game that we play.
Supporters praising you, we only have to go, like I said, back 6 months. They were booing you at times at Field Mill, so it's feel-good factor in the stands at the minute.
Well, I didn't get too frustrated then, because I understand the fans want success, and I think that over the summer period, I think fans have got to understand more about the position that I've been in at times. I've worked very hard with the chairman and certainly the previous chairman, and we're trying to do our best for the football club. So if it is nice to get a well done now and again, but you know, I firmly believe that every decision that we've made, some have gone well, and others that fans probably are frustrated at. But they're all done with the best interests of the club at heart, and that's always got to be the case. And I'm the one in the firing line when people have got certainly anger to be shouted at. But likewise, as I say, for me, you take it in a level context. I know what I have to deal with, and some of the things that we've had to deal with, as you rightly say and have witnessed and know more about, is that the job's been very, very difficult at times.
In one or two seasons, in one or two performances this season, shall I say, you've been frustrated by your side, shall we say, lack of clinical finishing in front of goal. 4 goals though in your last performance. Has that turned a corner?
Well, I mean, Cambridge, they came, it was a very solid performance. I was delighted with that. So only to get one, albeit a penalty, I felt we deserved the victory. And Martin Ling, who came out and said he felt we deserved it as well, which was appreciated. But I came away knowing that we're putting a very solid performance. We go to Altrincham and give them a good walloping, and certainly a strong performance. You can only get 3 points on the day, but for me it was a firm 3 points, and the boys deserved the plaudits afterwards.
Picking the same side, is that the crucial element in this current period of success?
Well, it's always a good factor if you can pick the same side. Sometimes through injuries and other things that get in the way of football can dismantle that procedure. But it has been credit to the players, the way that they've trained, the way that the setup has been, certainly from pre-season in a short space of time. I'm delighted to be able to put together a side and assemble a squad. And I will praise the peripheral players as well, because it's very difficult when you're wanting games, and the conduct of the players has been exemplary. There are 1 or 2 that are desperate to go and get games, and I'll grant that, given the right opportunity and certainly the circumstances. But games have come thick and fast, and I feel that we've got together very well.
Your press officer told me the other day that your physio has been underworked this season. That must be a positive thing then.
Yeah, well, that's we're crossing our fingers to make sure that we're training well. I think the start of last season we had a difficulty with the pitches that we were training on. And certainly we're grateful for the training ground centre to put those right, because we picked up 3, nearly 4 quite intense injuries on the training ground, and not one training ground. I don't advocate silly training. I mean, in terms of overcommitment in training regarding tackles, and I think the boys understand that, and that's why we don't get pick up training ground injuries through silly, stupid tackles on training ground. So when you do pick up injuries, obviously you want them to be in games, and then you get the recovery. You don't mind that. That's circumstantial. It's the environment you work in. But no, I felt that the way we've trained and the way that the boys have gone about their training, preparation, and certainly after the games, it's been fantastic.
Transfer deadline days been and gone. Were you tempted to add to your squad?
Tempted? Not really. I think that there's players out there that we can't go for. That's not a problem to me. I think I've got to respect, and going back to what the fans want and what the fans deserve, and we've got a steady squad. Yeah, of course you always want to improve the standard of that. But I didn't ask the question to the chairman because I don't think it was necessary. There may come a time that I do have to ask the chairman if we can invest in maybe one or two players. I do believe that in certain areas that we can improve, but we'll work on the training ground to do that, and I feel that the squad's settled. But no, I didn't ask that question. I didn't think it was necessary.
Players going out on loan?
I had a couple of inquiries, but it didn't come to fruition. Not because of it's really down to circumstances with other players at other clubs leaving. Really, there may have been a knock-on effect. You tend to find that one will trigger another one. Although we weren't in for Brody, obviously, that was. I think Andy Saunders would have had a heart attack if I'd asked him that one. So. No, there were a few, but it's only a week now, and the boys, if they do decide that let's say the ones that are not getting regular games at the moment. It's very difficult, David, when you haven't got a reserve side, and we've got a smaller squad, because I can't actually put on an 11v11 outside the training camp, because of obviously the players would have to be utilised that are playing in the first team at a minute, and then you may pick up injuries, so that'd be rather suicidal. And secondly, so that means that you do have to let the boys go out on loan.
We look at players like Ryan Williams, Matt Sumner. I think they're arguably candidates to go out on loan simply because you've got such a settled side at the minute. Would that be fair comment?
Well, Ryan, Matt, and maybe two or three others that certainly will want to play football. And full credit to them, they've trained very well. They know the type of dedicated players, professional players, and the type of mannerisms that I like. And I won't stand in their way if they do want to play football. That's always a factor. But it has to be right for us as well, because one thing I can't do is leave myself skinny with a squad that if we did pick up 2 or 3 injuries, and if we didn't have the ability to go into the market. So for the time being, obviously the next week, things will be settled, but after that I'll look at all individual cases, and if it's purposeful for the football club and for the player, then I'll do it.
Will you be dipping into the loan market to bring players in?
Not at the moment. As I say, we're not in a position to do that. I feel that a lot's been documented about this, that and the other, returning finance. The club we need the support, we need the backing, and we need everything right to be able to do that. And I say, I haven't asked that question of the chairman and the board, because I think that they know that I've worked very hard on getting a squad that's capable. And if we do need to improve it, then obviously them questions may be asked.
Tamworth on Saturday, an opportunity to stay at the top of the league.
Well, you say it with a smile on your face, it's a wonderful position to be in, but we're certainly in a group of teams in the top 10 that are going to be there or thereabouts. Your Crawleys, your Lutons, and certainly other teams there at the moment have put a platform as well. We're there because we've earned it. But going against a strong Tamworth side who beat Luton recently, drew with Cambridge, went to Newport and got a draw. So, they've put together a good side as well, and credit to Gary Mills. But my players are very focused at the moment, and I'm sure come Saturday they'll want to retain that position if we can, albeit on goal difference.